Hello, and welcome to this short introduction to documenting architecture decision records in Ardoq. This is one of 5 record types covered by our architecture records solution, the others being patterns, compliance assessments, architecture standards, and exception requests. Many organizations recognize the value of formally documenting architecture decisions. We cover why this is a good idea in our Purpose, Scope and Rationale article, along with links to other literature on the topic, so I'll focus here on the value of doing it in the Ardoq platform and how it is done. The key benefit of adding records in Ardoq is that they become a part of your overall repository, being components in the knowledge graph linked to all the other technical and business components that make it up. This means that you can quickly highlight any relevant decision records that are associated with a component in your repository, seeing them in a wider context. We'll see an example of that at the end of the video. Let's take a look at the Metamodel to see how a decision record is described and linked to other components in the graph. A decision record is similar in structure to a pattern description, so it follows the same Alexandrian pattern language we use to describe architecture design patterns. We'll take a look at the fields that fall within the decision record component type when we view the survey that is used to create and update decision records, so for now we'll focus on the references to and from other component types. We need to know who was involved in the decision, so your decision record should have a reference from the owner of it, and may optionally record those who approved it, should you need this for audit purposes. The Has Subject reference links the decision record to the thing that it is about. The type of things that are the subject of the record probably depends on how you manage work in your organization. A product-oriented organization will want to record decisions against products, most likely applications or technology services. A project-oriented organization may prefer to record decisions against initiatives. You can follow either or both approaches, and will just need to adapt the survey and other assets to reflect the component types you are pointing to. We've also included the option of using a refers to reference to one or more requirement component. The idea here is that you may want to reference the characteristics or sub-characteristics in your quality model or an architecture guiding principle to show what led to your decision. Principles, policies, quality characteristics and sub-characteristics are all modelled using the requirement component type. There's more information about how to model these in the help article entitled How to Represent Policies, Principles, Standards and Frameworks in Ardoq. Adopting this approach highlights one of the big advantages of documenting your decisions in Ardoq. It allows you to demonstrate how your principles or policies are being used to influence real decisions. So now back to the fields in the component, which are used to describe the decision itself. Combining the fields and the references, we arrive at a template for a decision record that conforms to the Alexandrian pattern language. This is how it looks on paper. As you can see, it goes beyond just recording what the decision was, so that anyone coming to it later will understand the context and what was considered in making the decision. This is key if you and your colleagues are going to make use of these records in the future, especially if someone needs to understand a design decision after those involved have moved on. And this is how it looks when translated into the survey in Ardoq, which is included with the architecture records solution. We can see this survey has been set up to record decisions about applications. This reference question is the one you would change if you wanted it to link to some other component type, such as initiatives. Most of the sections in the template are text paragraph fields, which gives you the ability to use rich text. That's all there is to it, and of course you can use the URL to the survey to make it really easy for any team to create a new decision record. No more excuses at the ARB for not having done so. And we'll finish with a look at how decisions and other architectural artifacts might be brought together when a solution comes under the microscope, perhaps at a meeting of the ARB or with internal audit. A single-page view of a solution. Here we see a C4 model representation of a proposed solution called SmartChat. We can see the high-level design in the centre, and around it we can see the technology choices that are being proposed, indicating which ones are approved standards or not, the patterns that have been implemented, some acknowledged technical debt, and a number of architecture decision records. We can also see here that a detailed solution health check has been conducted, assessing the design against the ISO 25010 quality model. I hope you found this introduction to recording architecture decisions in Ardoq useful. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video.